Hey guys, so I'm coming on here tonight to give y'all a bit of advice. I'm actually driving in my car. It's dark outside. I'm ready to get home. Been a long day, and yes, my head is wrapped up because sometimes when I go into some of these houses, they're not always, I'm just gonna say some of them are unclean. Not this house I went into today per se, but I always protect my head and wear long sleeves, long pants, anytime we're doing an eviction. So my reason for this message, I just left the house where a young lady and her child or children, I don't know how many she had, are in the process of being evicted. And y'all know, if y'all know me, I hate that with a passion. More importantly, I hate that oftentimes it's us that's getting evicted. So I'm saying all that to say, please, y'all, please, if your house that you're living in is being evicted, is being foreclosed upon, and the bank offers you cash for keys, take it. Take the money. Sometimes it's 2, 3, 4, 5,000. If the bank is offering it to you, please take it, and please be out with the house broom swept and left in tenantable condition by the date that they require. If not, you will not get that cash for keys. But that money is good money that you can use in order for you to move. So back to my story. The young lady whose house I just left, I actually work for the bank that foreclosed on the property. The previous owner is deceased. Her husband is still alive, and her husband, whose name was not on the mortgage, allowed a young lady to move in, signed a lease over for her for I think 2 or 3 years, but he had no authority to give her a lease because the property was never in his name. It was only in his deceased wife's name. So long story short, when we went to court, the judge awarded us possession of the property and what's called a writ of possession, which means we have a very short period of time, generally 7 days, for the tenant to be out and for us to take possession of the property. Oftentimes, in lieu of that, because the bank wants you to leave the property in good condition and not leave it a mess, they want you to remove all your things and leave the property in what we call broom swept condition. They will oftentimes give you the money that you need to move. Now, $2,000 may not necessarily be a lot of money for you to move, but it's $2,000 more than what you had. Not only that, oftentimes, if you act early enough, the bank will give you even more money than that. The problem with this situation, while I felt so bad for this young lady, y'all, she was crying. Oh my goodness, y'all know I hate it because I've been there, done that. It's nothing worse than being evicted and having to move all your stuff and sometimes picking it up off the ground. This wasn't her situation. She has a cash for keys situation, but she could potentially lose this cash for keys because she was supposed to be out by today. And when I got there, she still has quite a bit of things to do, and I would venture to say she likely will not be out of there by today. Maybe late tomorrow, but I ain't seeing today. So anyway, I say all that to say, first of all, if you have a lease for a property for a person who is deceased, your lease doesn't necessarily become null and void, but the seller, the owner of the property, can basically ask you or have you to vacate the property for any reason. They don't need a valid reason. It could be just because I want my house back, I want to move in it, I don't want you there, Like, they don't need an excuse per se for you to move. So if you're going through an eviction, if you're going through a foreclosure, please, people, I can't say it enough. I have seen so many people evicted. I have been to court so many times. Well, not a lot, because normally the people that we put in properties are people who don't suffer with these issues. But from time to time, I have been to court and I have seen people basically get put out. You know, they have 7 days to be out of a house. And when you don't have no money, 7 days feel like 1 day. If you don't have no support, no family to turn to, you got kids, like, it's a lot, y'all. So I understand the plight of the young lady that I just met with. I wish, you know, that this situation wasn't like this. I hate that she's dealing with this. But I'm going to be really honest with you. We've been putting notes on her door. On her front door. We've been putting letters and everything on her door since July. We did not get any response from her until she got dispossessory warrant to go to court. And by that time, it was already October. But you had from July, August, and September to respond to me, to call me, to email me, to text me. I always leave a card. I always leave my number. Like, again, I feel sorry for her. I feel bad for her. Not sorry for her. I feel bad for her. But you got to be proactive, people. Like, this stuff ain't going away. If the sheriff say he coming to put you out, trust me, boo, he gonna be there. And hopefully you won't be there. Hopefully you will have moved everything out of the house and you will have, gotten your stuff situated where you don't even have to deal with the sheriff at all. So I'm saying all this to admonish you, like, don't let it get to this if you can. Is eviction hard? Absolutely. Is foreclosure hard? Even more. Been through both of them. I know what it is to be evicted. I know what it is to be foreclosed upon and don't know where you're going to go. So that's probably why I'm empathetic to my single mothers. I'm empathetic to African American women and men too, to see them get put out of a property. It's disheartening. Like, it's a lot. And it's a challenging situation to be in, especially, again, when you don't have the funds. She had all her family over there helping her move everything out, but it's a complete disruption of your life. Like, okay, I ain't gonna get on no soapbox about that. But what I'm gonna say, again, please be proactive, people. Like, don't wait until the last minute. If you got a notice on your door, whether it's an eviction notice, a notice from an attorney, a notice from a bank, from anybody, anywhere, be proactive and call and just say, hey, I don't know what's going on with this. I'm a renter in this property. My lease is signed by such and such, and I have a valid lease through however long. Sometimes the banks will say, okay, if you have a valid lease, we'll honor your lease. But if you don't have a valid lease, you gotta go. And unfortunately, these big banks, even though sometimes I complain about them, they are well within their rights to have you removed from the property. So I'm trying to avoid you being removed from the property and just move from the property on your own. It's a bad feeling to be evicted, y'all. It's a bad feeling to have your stuff set out on the street. It's horrible for your children to see. Like, please, I can't begin to tell you. When you start getting the notices, act then. Don't wait till the last minute, because banks don't have to give you anything. Once they foreclose, all they got to do is get a writ of possession, and you'll look up and you see you got to be out that house in 7 days. And God forbid you don't show up for court. People, please, go to court. It's just court. They people just like y'all people. Don't be afraid. Handle your business. Be about your business. Okay, I'm not going to keep fussing, but I just hate to see it. I I hate to see single mothers crying and their baby standing there watching them, and you know, they got a house full of stuff that they don't know what they're gonna do with and where it's gonna go and where they're gonna go. Like, I hate it, but we can avoid it. If you have any questions, reach out to me. If you in this situation, don't be ashamed. That's one reason why a lot of people don't say anything, because they be ashamed, they be embarrassed. But listen, it's life. Life be lifing, and y'all know that. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens where your funds get low, you lose your job, you get divorced, you get sick. Life be lifing. So if you end up having to get evicted or foreclosed, okay, life moves on. 2 or 3 years down the road, get yourself back on your feet and you can go get you another house. Anyway, be proactive, people. That's all I got to say for the last 11 minutes. That's all I was saying. Be proactive. Don't wait till the last minute. If you got a notice on the door and you don't understand the notice, call me. I'll explain it to you. No strings attached. I ain't trying to bait you into nothing or get you to buy a house. That's not my end goal. My end goal is to make sure that we are responsible and accountable for what we need to be responsible for. All right. That's enough of my soapbox for tonight. Hope y'all have a good evening. God bless you. Talk to you soon.